All right, so today is just a day to make sure you guys understand this chapter. As you can see on the board, there is going to be a chapter 7 test on Tuesday. So we'll continue to review today and tomorrow and practice today and tomorrow. And Monday will be a Kahoot day, I believe. And then we'll take the test on Tuesday. So let's start with this weather map. It did ask you, so I saw some people skip it. My guess is you were like, oh, that doesn't look like a question. But if you had read it, it did tell you to label the air masses by writing the correct symbol in each circle on the map. So remember, we're looking for MT, CT, CA, CP, and CT. So they get M's if they're over water, C's if they're over land. So this one right here is going to be an M, C, M, M, C, M, and then these are all cold up top and warm down at the bottom. That is how I would have gone through and labeled them. I would have looked to see first if they were land or water, and then cold or hot. Question 2 was a little tricky. It says using the information to well, first you had to, using the station model, draw and label the following information. It says cloud cover has been left out, but using the information, determine what the coverage would be and shade in that station model. Always start with a circle. And then just go down the list. Northeast, never eat. That's this corner. 20 knots, 2 full bars. Hail is a triangle. Again, that's right off the reference table. Quarter mile. Oops, 52, 52. And we have to fill in the cloud cover. So first of all, before we do the cloud cover, notice I did not put degrees Fahrenheit. I didn't even put the little circle. If you do any labels on these, they're wrong. So no labeling on here. How can I figure out the cloud cover? It's hailing, but 100%. Why? Okay, gotta have, okay, it's, or at least really cloudy. Is that what you meant? It's raining because of these two? Or did, yeah. Okay, so remember that the temperature and the dew point, when they're the same, it means precipitation is happening. In this case, it says it's hail. And you guys, again, you have not lived under a rock. You know, if it's raining or hailing or snowing, there's a lot of clouds out there. So 100% cloudy would work. I do not think it is supposed to. Oh, there it says it is supposed to. I don't know when. Right now. Well, yeah, it definitely looks like some clouds are on the way here. Walking around, I saw so many of you get question 3 and 4 wrong. I'd like you to reread question 3 and 4. And check your reference table. This one was an easy one for me to check if you got it wrong. When we're asking for a symbol for warm, moist air mass, check your reference tables. What are our choices that are labeled air mass? Looking for my reference table, it appears to disappear. Oh, there it is. It's what? It is the ones. Air masses are these choice. I was not looking for whether it was a triangle or a circle. Air masses, these are our choices. And again, now for this first one, we want warm, moist. How do we designate the moist? Or wet? No. M for maritime. And then warm would be tropical. So I saw a lot of people put like a half circle there for a warm front. Wasn't asking for fronts, it was asking for the air masses. So always read the words carefully and answer the question that they asked, not the one you think they're asking. How about cold and dry? What's the dry part? C and cold? E. Now they're asking, so on this, there is a cold, dry air mass there and a warm, moist air mass here. So they're asking, where did these air masses originate? So that means, where did they come from? This is where they are now, and you have to figure out where they came from. There's a couple ways of doing this, but the easiest way is to see where they're going. These half circles here are a warm front. Remember, they're in the front of the air mass. They're at the very beginning of it. And they always point to where it's going. So if it's going this way, where did it come from? Yeah, you follow it back, and it came from right here. Does anybody know what that's called? Right there by Texas and Florida. Let me see if it's labeled on a map in here. Oh, I'm moving in slow motion, sorry. Nope, it is not labeled on a reference table, so they wouldn't expect you to know this off the top of your head. I would assume that would have been labeled on a map. That is the Gulf of Mexico. So they would want a name of the place. Again, they wouldn't expect you to know that off the top of your head, though. How about, where did the cold air mass originate? So here's where it is now. Which way is it going? Huh? I couldn't hear you. But it's not, I didn't ask that. I asked, where's it going? No. Okay, follow the triangles. Cold air is going this way. So to figure out where it came from, so it's here now, going this way. So you got to read backwards, and it's going to be up here. What's up there? Alaska or Canada? All right, which weather station? A, which is hiding down here, B over here, C over here has 100% relative humidity. Is relative humidity given on a weather station model? Is relative humidity listed anywhere on here? It's not, but you can walk through it. So it asks which one has 100%. Guys, 100% relative humidity means the air is all the way filled up with water. How do we tell if the air is, when is the air all the way filled up? If it's raining or if it's foggy. And how do we know if it's rainy or foggy? By looking at one of these. What? The numbers. Remember, if temperature and dew point are the same, it's raining. So we look at A, which is over here. We've got 88 and 84. Yeah, I think that's what it says. B, 82 and 82. C, 70 and 50. So which one is it raining at? B. So that B is raining. So B has 100% humidity. Which one's going to get colder in the next couple of days? Why A? It has a cold front coming towards it. These triangles are pointing where they're going. It's like they're pointing at you saying, I'm coming to get you. Why is it not C? What's already happened to C? It's already had the cold front go over it. That's where the cold front's already been. So it's already cold at C. This didn't ask which one is already cold. It asked which one's going to get cold. So that's location A. All right, location C. It says, which direction is the wind blowing towards at station C? So station C is here. It's got the wind stick up here. Is that where the wind is blowing towards though? That's where it's coming from. So it's coming from the northwest. You basically follow that through. Where is it going? Southeast. No. Is it done? All right, bring it up. Let me see. Okay, and the next page. All right, thanks. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I saw. All right. List 3 things on this map that indicate there's a low pressure on it. What are some dead giveaways? Guys, there's one real easy dead giveaway that this has a low pressure. There's an L. Big L. What's something else that's a dead giveaway? Nobody, you cannot look at this map and tell me this is a low pressure other than there's an L on it. What did we learn about low pressure? Everybody find your packet. That's not it. That tells you it's not very windy. We did pressure on page. Everybody flip back to page 31. What were some things on that map? So you're looking at 31. Well, I'll have up here the picture. What were some things on this map that indicate it's a low pressure if you actually look at what a low pressure is supposed to look like on page 31? It is moving counterclockwise. So if we look at the wind, here at C, it's going that way. Here at A, it's going that way. And B, it's going that way. Plus we can follow this and then that. That means the air is rotating this way. And that's the opposite way of a clock. So air moving counterclockwise. There are some other hints on here. Keep looking. What are some other things about low pressures that we know? From page 31. I don't know if you can tell though, because we would want high temperatures. And while these are pretty high temperatures, it's hard to say. I think you could probably get away with saying they're high pressure. Let's say some of the, what are these actual numbers, guys? We've got 996. Is that a low pressure or a high pressure? Here's how you tell. You get out your pressure chart. 996 is right there. Is that a lower number or a higher number? It's lower. Keep in mind, this 1 atmosphere is like normal or average. So anything below that's going to be low. Anything above that's going to be a high pressure. So the actual numbers are low. And that's probably it. You can also tell that the air is kind of blowing towards the L, not away from it. You do need to be able to recognize all of this stuff for the test on a Tuesday. All right, yesterday we talked about air masses and fronts. And it says, which cross-section below represents an air mass, air movement, clouds, and precipitation occurring behind and ahead of the warm front located between station A and B? I know there's a lot of writing up here, but A is right there, B is right there. So there's a warm front in between them. My first question is, which way is the air blowing towards? Is it blowing towards A or towards B? blowing towards B. So right away, we can cross off some wrong answers. Is answer 1 possibly correct? No, because the air is blowing the wrong way. It's blowing towards A. We can tell here that the air is blowing towards B. So far 3 could be right. Could 2 be right? Nope, the air is blowing the wrong way. 4 could be right because it's blowing towards B. Which one is showing a warm front then? Or which one is potentially labeled correctly? What's wrong with 4? What's wrong with 4? Warm air is going down. Warm air does never go down. Warm air always goes up. Here we have warm air pushing cold air out of the way. Answer 3. Again, I would start, you could either start that way or look to see, remember, warm air has to rise. Now this one, the arrows on which map best represent the direction of wind surface winds associated with low pressure. Guys, remember low pressure. What ways do the wind blow around a low pressure system? Counterclockwise. Remember the clock is high on the wall, so high pressure go clockwise. The counter is low, so low pressure go clockwise, counterclockwise, sorry. And do they go into a low or out of a low? Into, remember, farts blow from high pressure to low pressure, so does wind. So we want somewhere where the wind's blowing into, so not 3 and not 4. And then we want counterclockwise. That's answer 2. Yes, it already had a box around it. It was already answered for you. All right, the next one goes with this next map. What is the weather instrument used to measure air pressure? Barometer, you need to know. All 5 instruments we learned: thermometer, temperature, barometer, pressure, sling psychrometer for dew point and relative humidity, anemometer for wind speed, and wind vane for wind direction. You need to know all 5 of those, what they look like, and what they do. Which location, A or B, recorded the highest wind speed? How do we tell where it's the highest wind speed? Where the lines are close together, so that's location B. Which location is the center of a high pressure? How in the world would we figure this out? Look at the numbers. Where is the center of the highest set of numbers? A. Where is the center of the lowest set of numbers? C. What is the approximate air pressure of D? So D is not on a line. 1010 would work. Literally anything in between 1008 and 1012, as long as you didn't pick 1008 or 1012. You could have said 1008.1 and I would have been good. Or 1011.999 and you could have gotten it right. 18, between points A and B. So from here to here, which way is the wind blowing towards? What do we know about which way wind's blowing if there's no little weather stations with the little sticks on them? What way does wind blow? From what to what? Always from high to low. So here's the higher pressures. Here's the low pressure. The wind is going to be blowing like that. So from A to B is going to be blowing towards A, towards B, towards which way you want us to answer this. You could answer south. It's not the ideal answer. You could just say it's blowing towards B. South would be okay, but they're really getting at that it's moving towards B. All right, 19. Which location is the wind blowing clockwise? Clockwise blows, wind blows clockwise around what kind of pressure? Clockwise, high pressure. Here's the high pressure. We already said A was high pressure. So it's going clockwise around A. Oh, I'm sorry. This one says counterclockwise. That's why you answered that. Counterclockwise is C and clockwise is A. Which way does the prevailing winds blow weather systems across the United States? We did this one last week. Typically, in the United States, which is, for at least New York State, is located up here between 30 and 60 degrees north. So the winds typically blow, we don't answer it right. Weather systems carry them west or northwest either. I'm sorry, not west. Yeah, they come from the west, so towards the east. I'm sorry. I just went quickly. Comes from the west. And finally, going right along with this, because we already know that A is the high pressure, B is the, or I'm sorry, C is the low pressure. Where's the air rising then? C, low pressure. Where is the air rising? Oh my God, air sinking, sorry. A, because A is the high pressure. That is the kind of stuff you're going to need to be able to recreate for Tuesday. Guys, your homework, which you have almost 20 minutes to get started on it. It's going to be a decent amount because we're doing, it's not homework, it's due right now work. Page 48 through let me double check. Now I forgot. I already figured this out, but I forgot. (48) through 53. I know that sounds like a lot, but 48 has 2 questions on it. 49 has 4 questions on it. So again, homework due tomorrow, which you're starting now, is page 48 through 53. You have a half an hour to do it or 20 minutes to do it now. Would it be better if I say right now you're doing pages 48 through 50? That's due at the end of the period. Think of it that way. Page 48 through 50 is due at the end of the period, then 51 and through 53 is homework.